Alrighty here, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We're having a little problem with our J4X this morning. We'll see what's going on there. I guess that was that problem that yesterday and the day before that they were having at Ducascopy, so I imagine that someone reset everything and we need a new password and all that other stuff to straighten it all out. So anyhow, let's go jump over to what do we got here? You can see here. This is the where's that? That's the Swiss this morning. You can see Swiss is making another high here. There's that pressure on the situation there, and it doesn't seem to stop. And at the same time, we're watching how they just not sure. Just not sure anymore how the this Credit Suisse situation and the swaps between the Federal Reserve and the National Bank of Switzerland itself, and I mean it's just it's obviously some form of bailout going on, some type of adjustment, and because you can see there's the Swiss. Let's see if we might as well. Is it all the way up in there? Let's do this. Let's just make it all big until I get my new password for my J4X. So you can see there, that is the dollar Swiss pairs trade. Now when we go and look at the euro dollar pairs trade, you can see we are sliding down. Obviously not taking out this low here, the way what they're doing to the Swiss saltine and so forth, but you can see that pressure on it, and the dollar obviously holding its own in the sense of that it's not falling apart. That's for sure. Oh, let me go over to the chat line. Maybe Giannis is up on that. Let's go to the chat line and click on there, and there I am. Okay. So when we look at the pairs trades at this point in time, they're just all, dollar strong. I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Strong and not letting go. And that seems to be the whole thing right there. And what else we got going on? I guess that's better. There's Robin. Hey, Robin. There's George. Hey, George. My J4X's password, I think, got wiped out from the adjustments they had to make the last 24 hours. So, Faith, what are your thoughts about smart money concepts, or have you heard about smart money concepts? Smart money. Is there stupid money? I've seen stupid money. I've seen smart money. So that's an interesting thing. Is there stupid money too, or just smart money? What makes it smart? Give us an idea what makes it, Faith. Give us an idea what makes it smart. Is it some type of like a crypto where it has the ability to be maneuvered and moved with less influence from central banks, or just party to party? In other words, one person to another person, or one entity to another entity. So, what makes it smart? I'm always interested in hearing something new. I've never really seen smart money more than, to me, smart money would be cryptos. That's a tool that can be, cleared from one group to another group with not being influenced by the central banks around them. And it's done at lightning speed, like a PayPal type thing and so forth, and I guess you can decide what type of currencies you're buying and that one's selling. I guess there's Bitcoin in dollars, and then there's Bitcoin and something else, and so forth and so on. So yeah, we'll wait and see what you have to say about what smart money is. To me, smart money is cryptos. All right, so you can see here obviously the dollar is. Oh, let me lower the volume here. There we are. The dollar, as usual, being relatively firm and not letting go. Hey. Do you like that one, Robin? That makes sense? To me, that's smart money, cryptos. All right, let's take a look at the cable and see how the cable's doing this morning. You can see here, cable's been in the sell for a couple of days since the noise of the issue with the government, and then yesterday she finally made it official. It's obviously a little front running going on there, but not taking out any major lows here. You can see we've been in that weekly sell now for over what's that? That's 4. That's 3 is 7. So this is the 10th week in a weekly sell. Doesn't look like it's going to bounce back up again. Oh, didn't you hear that question? Faith said, "What are your thoughts about smart money concepts?" Or have you heard about smart money concepts? And I said, I've heard of stupid money, I've heard of smart money, but what defines smart money? And to me, I think smart money is like cryptos, really. I think that's a really interesting tool to be able to move equity. And I guess if you have option derivatives, it makes it even easier. You can really lock these things in so that you don't lose any, have much or any slippage whatsoever. Literally minus the interest rate or the cost of carry. That's about it. So, all right. Let me just check because I texted Yana. So here we go. There we go. Give me login. It can be reset. It already has. It already has one. Why? It doesn't want to open. Here, let me just show you. Are you watching? I'll try reloading again. I restarted her too at this point. Try again. Now, there we are. All right. Let's see. So, let's go back to that again. Where's that nice arrow? Go like so. Where is it at? I just saw it. All right, let's just minimize this for a moment. There it is. Yeah, it's all wiped out. See, I have no login or password. You can send that back over to me again. And then I restarted thinking, oh, okay, maybe that'll straighten it out. But it didn't straighten it out. So, let's see here. Yes, I'm questioning smart money concepts. Faith with what do you mean? Yeah, exactly. Better continue on with multi-charts and we'll deal with after the streaming. Okay, no problem at all. No problem. Thank you, Giannis. Let's see, Faith. It is like a new trading concept developed by Michael Huttle, ICT. They use terms like liquidity grabs, order blocks, fair value gaps, and so on. It is really popular. Oh, well, let's see. Let's break that down a little bit, because now we're heading into the technical analysis, so that's cool. Let's see. They use terms like liquidity grabs. So I guess what they do is they look at the difference between a bid and offer. I wonder what a liquidity grab is. That could be an interesting concept. A liquidity grab. I would think that would represent like the liquidity. I'll check. See, now I'm getting something else. On way, good. All right, there we are. All right, yeah. So, I guess where was I headed for? Oh, yeah, I just had to answer that question there. I would think that what liquidity grabs are, I'm going to look it up and see if there's any definition. But I would think you would look at like bid and offer, the vol, the beta. You can get pretty sophisticated if you want, trying to figure out liquidity grabs. I invented a stock indice I invented a bunch of them back in 2000. No, what was it? 90s, 1995. And the Securities Exchange Commission gave me a symbol. It was my index was WAY, like the Internet Highway, and they called it WAY, WAY. And I based it off of liquidity. And I had like 7 different sectors. It was like on and off ramps to the internet. Like Cisco systems and networking companies, and then chip companies, and then software companies, and it was very interesting. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the exchange to bite. The Securities Exchange Commission loved it, and they approved it, but the exchange was scared at the time. They thought in 1995, they thought that the internet was just way too powerful and it could blow somebody up. So it was the same thing. Remember when they had options and they didn't do puts? They were scared. They thought puts would actually destroy the American economy. So they only had call options, no put options. All right, let me go search for this now. I want to see what liquidity grab looks like. There it is. Liquidity grab. Let's see what that says. An Investopedia indicator. A liquidity grab. There's an indicator. Okay, let's see what it says. Liquidity grab understands Forex liquidity zones. Liquidity in Forex market refers to the ability to find a counterpart to trade. For example, you want to buy a currency pair at a price. Okay. Now, I'm sure there has to be more than just that. What is the best indicator for liquidity? Let's see what that is. Volume. So, yeah, it's got to be based off of volume. So, what else we got to say about that? At this point in time, let's get back to the Dukascopy. Where'd it go? There it is. So yeah, liquidity grab and then order blocks and fair value gaps. Fair value. I guess, again, if let's say everything's trading at like 32 volatility in a particular product, and all of a sudden the volatility drops. A fair value, I guess. How do you define fair value? I've theorized many a time what is fair value, what is not fair value. Yeah, so so far my math beats all that. So it doesn't, as far as I can tell, I've never seen anything better than my math. But I'm always willing to. There's always an open opportunity to show competition. I am ready to put my math against anything, ICT or whatever. We'll see who has the better track record. I am always hungry to do that. Okay, Faith? So if you want to send us over a chart or something like that, we can take a look at what you got going on there, and we'll go from there. Because we're always interested in competing. That's how I started off at Dukascopy. The whole idea was to compete with other technicians around the world. I've always been very comfortable to compete. So, that's about that at the moment. Now, let's jump over to... Where are we at here? That is... what is that? That's... which product is that? Let me put my glasses on so I can see it again. And that is the pound, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's the British pound. Let's go over to the Turkish Lira from there. Let's see what the Turkish Lira is doing. There's the dollar Turkish Lira right there. Notice they're starting to stop this crazy swing stuff that was going on. Some type of panic was going on. It's still plus again in a buy again, and over 30 weeks now in a weekly buy. So the pressure is constantly on when it comes to that product. I hope that answered your question, Faith. And like I said, I'm always hungry to compete. So, if you got a technical chart we can get our hands on, we'll take a look at the ICT or whatever it is, Michael Huddleston and his work, and we'll see how that goes. Because we think we're better. And we're always asking somebody to prove that we're not. That's what it really comes down to. Prove that we're not better. And then we set up a system on J4X that is very good. We call it Manhattan Project. And what it does is uses two different stochastics competing against each other, and at the same time Hinky-Ashke bars. And that gives a great insight to a trend, a very solid trend. So I hope that helps you out there. Now, from there, let's take a look at the Euro Turkish Lira. Right there. This has been a surprise that we're seeing some of this jumping around like there. It be jumping like the dollar Turkish Lira was jumping. But now it seems to have calmed down, and look how healthier it looks too again. So whatever panic that was going on in the Turkish currency seems to have dissipated. And then you can see right here, we're in a sell from yesterday, and you can see we're down again today, and we've been in a weekly sell since this point there, which is not that far off the path either way. So, the pressure is on that particular product. And again, we have been really surprised about this very odd, illiquid. Talk about liquidity grab. How would you rephrase? See this here, Faith? Look at these crazy swings during these days. Same thing with that's the Euro Turkish Lira. And then take a look at the same thing over on the dollar Turkish Lira. Talk about liquidity grabs. Whoa. Boy, did somebody get their head handed to them or what? Obviously they were selling, and someone bought them a hell of a lot cheaper than needed to be, as far as I could tell. Because, I mean, look at it. They drive it down to here. The next day, they're right there again. They drive it. They did it here, too. They drive it down to here. The next day, they're starting right there again. So someone got bamboozled really bad from execution. And then same thing here. They drive it down, settle it right there, and then what do they do the next day? It's right there in the channel again. So something was, I hope they try to break the trades or something. Yes, that's liquidity grab. I can't just see it very well because I use Japanese candlesticks. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, candlesticks are very good. I always enjoyed candlesticks, and that's why we use Hinky-Ashke in many ways. I used to communicate with Nissan from old Merrill Lynch about it. When he came back from Japan, he was taking over head department of technical analysis for Merrill Lynch. He asked me if I could help him out, and I was up there a little bit. I started questioning myself, why am I even trying to help him? But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, candlesticks are really good. I think they do show a lot. You see the body of the action. You see where it's settled. You see the high, the low, the opening, the close. You get a four-dimensional picture of a product through the candlesticks. So I agree with you. That's always good. Let's see. From there, we go to the Canadian now, right there. And there's the CAD. You can see second day in a buy right there. And, because it's through the zero line here, I guess they didn't have a red in there yesterday. And I don't see our lines. I just see one line there. And we've been in that weekly buy. Our weekly trend buy has been from the 29 area. And now we're trading at, the 38 area. So it's been a heck of a push on the upside. Now, from there, what we do is we dance our way over to, we take a look at the oil. And that's NQs. Let's check out the spot oil right there. And it's trading around $84. You see that right there. Flirting again with its weekly buy. No, I'm sorry, that's a daily buy. Daily buy. And the weekly buy is still, it was in the beginning of the week it popped. And now it's, just underneath the side there. Again, going into this time of year, I would have a hard time believing that oil can be much lower. That's really surprising. Liquidity grab is usually equal highs, lows on charts that are wicked out then. Wicked out. I like Hangman and was it what are those symbols? Like you have a hangman where you have the and a wick, Yeah, exactly. The big long. So in other words, it makes this big height and comes all the way back down to like where the settlement is of that bar, or right underneath it, and it closes like unchanged. And they call that like a hangman, and then things like that. Okay, and that's how you're looking at it. That's interesting. That's very good. Like I said, I'm a big fan of candlesticks. I enjoy using candlesticks. I like to see the body of things a lot of times. Sometimes we have candlesticks up on the charts here because people ask for it, and then I gladly put it in. Like a double top or double bottom. I hear you. That makes sense. Yeah. I don't really follow things like that as much. I follow it only because I know other people are watching it, but our math is so better. My Chicago Quant Technologies gas lines are just so much more advanced and so much more predictable over short periods of time. Like we can show you here. Let's give you a flavor. Let's put that needle in your arm and crank you up. Let's do it. Let's get hot here. We're going to go into the intraday, and then you're going to be able to see even, you're looking at dailies and weeklies, and that's what we normally look at is dailies and weeklies. And but let's show you an intraday 138 contract ticks. So, I mean, this thing is like running on, nitro. I mean, it's just running on nitro. And there we go. Let's throw up one of those. We'll make it the whole page. There we go. So you can see here, it goes into a cell here, right there, off of this one, and stays in a cell even with it going plus because we have a red dot. And it's still in a cell. So it goes into a cell officially there all the way up to this point right there. Now this is ticking away live, and it's hot and heavy. This is the S&P 500. And then you can see it gets into a buy here. I guess it's right there. And you get this upward action for a couple bars. And then you get into a sell, and you can see the pressure on it all the way to right there. You get into the buy there, and it kind of ziggy-zags along all the way to, and goes a little bit higher. Nothing spectacular. And then there's a sell. And that sell lasts right to there. And then it goes back into, I guess it goes into a sell here for that little dip. And you can see there's a buy. It barely lasted, only one bar. And there's a good one right there. It went into the buy right there. That one right there. And it's climbing still in value. So this is, you can see here, this is our math, the same math we use on a daily and a weekly. We use a concept of like this called the Manhattan program on J4X, where it's picking up the trend, and it beats MACDs and single stochastics and moving averages and so forth. So it's a really good tool. Let's see, like a double top or double bottoms. Yeah, I've there's no doubt that if a large segment of traders are paying attention to those things, it's always worth paying attention to them also. But I wouldn't make money decisions off of them. I just would know that noise is there. Like you can see here. Let's put a line in there for you too. It'll go like this. So we can move the line back and forth, and we'll make it white. Or there we are. Nope, cancel. And then we can move it back and forth and show you the success or failure. We live and die, Faith, here every day for years. We live and die by our math every day. And so you can see it's going into a cell right there. And there it is there. And that was a nice little win. Let's see what they're doing. It's just sitting there. That's kind of odd. I'm not sure what that issue is all about, but end result is that what happened? Why is it not ticking? I'm confused. What happened there? And that's not ticking either. What happened? We were just live a few seconds ago. Maybe I'll close it and start over again.
Market data connection lost.
Okay. There we go.
Market data connection lost.
We're getting
market data connection reestablished.
Okay, we're getting a message from the computers that it failed. Okay. There we go. And let's go to there, and then let's go back to what we were looking at right there. There we go. And there it is. This is trading away live. Whoa, there's a nice move, and it looks like it's pushing it into a buy. So now we just move that line over again. See how long that one lasts. And so that's the math live, and trading on a 138 contract bar. It's just running hot. So liquidity grabs is like a fancy term for fake breakouts in retail terms. You know, it's really hard to say what a fake breakout is. Over the decades, I've looked at that type of concept, trying to understand, what's fake and what's real. To me, for every buyer, there's a seller. For every seller, there's a buyer. And, they do. There are some fake stuff. There's no doubt that we see it. They put bids out there as market makers, and then they pull their bids, and then they try to get people to come in and sell to them, and so forth and so on. But our math is so much more accurate. You see, like there, when it went into the buy, it's still in the buy, and it goes up in value. That's to me that's the real game in the end result. Is that in other words, you need a mechanical, system that defines what's fake and what's real. Now, there's no doubt that the market, matter of fact, Gatkin, the head of the Securities Exchange Commission, has put out a paper. He wants to change the liquidity situation altogether, about buying and selling volume, buying and selling orders, so forth and so on. Now, there you go. We went into the sell right there. No, that wasn't it. It's one or more over. We went into the sell right there, and it didn't do anything good at all, and lost money there, and then it goes into a buy and makes all your money back. Like, that's the way our math always works. It makes your money back all the time. All the time. It's a time frame in an odd way, but it does it. So, in other words, you can lose, and then our math will make it back. And that's the way it goes. And that, to me, I always theorize this little box. Let me put that box up there around that. Because we're having an interesting, at least I know I am. I'm fascinated by this concept. I theorize on it. Sometimes I wonder, how to define that particular action, that just occurred there through our math. Since our math is the key to begin with. And so it gave us a sell. It tried to go down. It failed, one bar, and jumped right back into the game again. And, then it was a nice winner. And then there's a sell right there. And that, a little bit win, and then it goes right back into the buy again. And definitely if you didn't get out and make money there, this made you all the money you need. Yum, yum, yum. And then, now this is live. You're looking at live trading. This is our math live. Not Memorex. And you can see that's where the sell was. And that was a winner chicken dinner, and there's a buy again, and there's a winner chicken dinner again, and then there's a sell right there, and there's a winner chicken dinner, and it's still, is it all the way down to there? Goes into the buy right there. And there's the buy. Now it's getting a little sloppy again. So you can see my way of defining long, short, fake, real is so much more sophisticated than the average trader. You are right. For every buy order, there must be an equivalent sell order for a trade to take place. Price is continuously seeking pools of liquidity to rebalance the market. Yeah, something like that. I agree with that. That makes sense to me. And so you can see our math is just so much more sophisticated at it, that's all, because it defines it much clearer. So then when we jump back to, like right here, we go back to the daily. Here's the daily of the S&P 500. We were just looking at the intraday. You can see we're in a daily sell from yesterday. You see the pressure's on. We've been in a weekly sell. This is the same math, just looking at it on a daily basis. Right there, there's the daily basis. And this is the daily indicator, the gas line. And then this is the weekly basis. And on a long weekly trend, you can see that things don't go in straight lines. They go up, they go down. The daily protects you. In other words, you get into a daily buy, but we're in a weekly sell. Not to be short. You're not long. You're just flat. And then it goes back into a sell right here. We're in a weekly sell right there. And it's safe to be short again for the next 5 days. And so forth and so on. And that's the way our math works. And then you get into a daily buy right there. You take that profit that you made from there. And so forth and so on. So in other words, we're very mechanically inclined. Everything you're saying has been talked about, and I agree. People are always searching and trying to understand those concepts of liquidity and fair value and fake bids and offers. I mean, there's some lawsuits I've seen go off on the fake bids and offers because they like J.P. Morgan, didn't they just have to pay like $200 million, and I think Goldman had to pay $500 million, or didn't they have like a $3 billion lawsuit? Their trading desk kept on putting fake bids and offers out there, and then when people went to sell to them on the bid, they weren't there. They weren't willing to fill the order, and that went on for a bunch of years. So I hear you. It's just that we've broken it down into a consciousness. Our math is able to read past performance, and it has a calculating system that tells us what future performance is going to look like. And it has an 8.5 out of 10 time being accurate. And it thinks on its own in a sense. It's reading the price action. So it's reading price action. That's exactly what you're describing. You're trying to appreciate the price action, be it, let's see, what did you call it, like double tops, or seeking pools of liquidity, or rebalancing the market. When you say like rebalancing the market, again, it all comes down to, I guess, market makers, because market makers make the balanced market to begin with. So in other words, you don't really have. And then you have black pools, and that's the other thing too. Right, exactly. So, Faith, yeah, this is I'm glad you walked in and said hi, because this is to me, I love talking about this stuff, and I've been doing this for over 45 years. Robin, my partner at Chicago Quant, same thing. He's been doing it almost 50 years. We've seen it all. If we haven't seen it, we are real quick to learn it. Let's put it that way. So if we haven't seen it, then chances are we will learn something new and incorporate it, and so forth and so on. Oh yeah, and you can see. Let's go back to the intraday. Now we're getting to the half hour to the U.S. Open, and it's going to be a little bit wilder and sloppier. And you can see here we went into a sell. Where's that fun line I had? Let's see if you can find that line. There it is. I see the line. So, you can see like there was the buy right there, and the math goes up, and you make money. And let's grab that line again and jump out further. There's another one right there. I'm just trying to move her forward to get the real time. And let's go with. Let's see, right. There's a sell right there. Let's put it right there, and let's move it over again. You see the little weakness. Wasn't much selling going on, and that's part of that. The words, the descriptions you've been using. There's no doubt about it. It gets into a buy right there. It seems to fail. It goes into the sell right there, and stays into the sell all the way to, because we had a red and green there, so it kept it in the sell all the way to right here. No. Right there. There's the first buy again from that point. Right there's the buy. And I'm trying to get us right over to real time. This is moving so fast, and our math is so fast, Where's that line? Oh, yeah, I'll scrunch it. Where's that scrunchy thing? There we go. Should have done that to begin with. And there's a buy right there. This one kind of failed. I mean, it went up a little bit for a couple of... No, where's the buy at? The buy's right there. No buy there. It was still in the sell. It missed it, all of it. In other words, it kept us safe. That's a buy right there. and that ran all the way up until this spot right there. And now let's move it over to the live stuff again. Right there. Goes into the sell there. And puts it into the buy right there. And then looks like you lost money. That's one of the biggest losses we've seen this morning. And what does it do? It goes into a buy. Where is it going to buy? Right there. And makes all kinds of money. Look at that. Making the money. Made that money there. Tries to go into the sell for that stuff there. You can see that. And then there's one there. And we can even go into a different frame. There's a full Tesla doing the same thing. Going into the sell right there. Gets into the buy right there. This is a 396, not a 138. And then you can see it goes into a sell right there. Gets into a buy for that and goes right back into a sell and makes the money back. Money. And it goes into the buy right there and catches that whole ride. And then goes into a sell for this and makes a teeny weeny little win. Then gets back into a buy there and went into all the way up to there. So this is now, that's a 396. This is like 3 times compared to a 1/3 Tesla, which we were just showing you on the faster chart. So how's that? That's what we talk about here. Is we talk about everything, and we're glad to talk about it and accept any challenge, because if you come up with a better system, I want to use it. Definitely, because my objective here is not the trade. My objective here is to make money. That's what our objective always is. Not the trade, to make money. Not the trade, but just make money. All right, from here, let's see. Let's get back over to our currencies. Right there. And there's the CAD. Oh, I know, as we were going to the crude. So where's the crude at? Let's put crude oil back in there, because when we look at CAD, we see crude oil. You know, they kind of march along together, CAD and crude a lot of times. Not as well as the South African rand and gold. They march together much better. You know, they do. They follow each other in lockstep. But here you can see the crude is trying to get into the plus again today. We're up around $85 in the front month. You can see we're playing with that daily buy as we speak. You can see now the weekly is through. Remember, we looked at it like 10 minutes ago and it was minus. So this is that our math being dynamic on a daily here and weekly compared to a hot and heavy intraday, like right there. So we can do it all. We do it all. All right. From there, we go over to the South African rand. There it is right there, South African rand. You see, you know, it's been playing at the high end of its range. Obviously, that means gold must be down in value. And let's drift over to the gold and take a peek. Gold. Right there. And there is the gold. Okay, it's up for the day. It's starting to lift. It was down, made new lows, and now it's trying to turn around. And let's go back to that South African rand. That's what's so nice about having the J4X and Chicago Quant together. I can go back and forth and look at the different ones. You can see here it put a peak in, just like gold put that bottom in, and is now trying to roll over in here. We've been in a daily buy for 3 days. And we've been in the weekly buy since down in here in the 17 and change or 16 and change, 1682 area. And it's, you know, been in that weekly trend for, what's that? There's 4 weeks, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks in the weekly trend. All right, from there, we go over to the one that likes to surprise us the most anymore, and that is the yen. Oh, look at that. They're taking it up even higher. We were talking about possibly 154, 153 when it was down in here. But boy, are they doing it. They just keep on. I mean, it's been in a daily buy from here. It just refuses to back off. It's been in a weekly buy since back in here. This thing has been in like a weekly buy. Something crazy like 30 of the last 34 weeks or something like that. I mean, it's been going on now for a while. I mean, they're pushing this yen really hard. We're looking at like 35, 36-year highs at this point. All right, and then last but not least, we drift down to the Mexican peso, south of our border. And there it is, and this is a very sturdy currency. It has been very sturdy. You can see there it's just been banging around at the bottom end of the range, barely challenging it. Did it a few times in here. This range has been going on for a couple of years now. And at the same time, you can see today we're flirting with the daily sell as we speak. And the weekly, here it is Friday, and they're playing with it again. And they go in it, they go out of it, in it. And we'll see how they take this by the end of the day. And on Monday, we'll all be watching to see how the Mexican peso went out of all this in the end. It's been very impressive overall. What else can we say about any of these things? I guess the peso and the oil market. I bet it's in some ways it must be. I mean, they're an oil country. I think they produce like 4 million barrels a day, something like that. So it's pretty good. You know, I mean, that's a lot of oil, and it's very productive. All right. What do we got? Biden plans a vacation before midterms. So if Biden's going on vacation before the election over the next couple of weeks, he's something, isn't he? Boy, he's a party animal. All right, that's a headline coming out right now. Biden planning vacation. Huh. Isn't that funny? All right, let's end the currencies unless someone wants to see something in currencies. We'll close that out. So Yana says, this is a way to keep him silenced. Yeah, really. Everybody says that there's a Biden double. They think they have a Biden double. And, and he just kind of walks out and looks like Biden and so forth and so on. Like in the movies, it's like really weird, So that he does not say anything more damaging to the Democrats. Well, at this point, the polls are so far. This is going to be the most fascinating election I think I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, this is going to be well beyond Ronald Reagan. I mean, I knew Ronald Reagan was going to win, and I knew it was going to be a changing factor, and it was. The South went Republican for the first time in 100 years. Well, this is going to be even wilder. Supposedly, the Hispanic vote is going total Republican, and it it's just. They've shifted another major demographic. You like that, Robin? Yeah, Giannis is like spot on target usually. He really is. He goes right for the throat. I love it. You know what? You get into a fight, you better go for the throat. Exactly. And Giannis is totally right. The smartest thing they can do is try to keep Joe down at the shore, riding his bicycle, eating ice cream. Keep him away from everybody. He got angry yesterday at somebody. I'll just finish it off with this. And that he said that, he says, I have 16 different people who've asked me to come campaign for them. Someone asked him and said, how come you're not campaigning with all the candidates? He says, I have 16 people who've asked me to campaign with them. And I'm thinking to myself, there's 160 races at least that could use them, No, they couldn't use them. They tell them not to come. That's what they've been doing. They've been telling them, don't show up in our country, in our state. Don't show up in our district. Stay away. So, all right, that's enough of that. All right, from there, let's go over to, we'll go back to the metals market itself and take a look at silver. And here we come. I see it. Yes. Closing that out. There we go. And there's the gold. As you can see, it's we've been in that daily sell for a couple weeks now, and you see that action all there. And then from here, you see there's silver. Silver went into the sell yesterday. They made a new low today. We're in the weekly sell, so that was not much of a surprise, but it was a nice little trade. And then what we're seeing is, let's tighten this up a little bit. That's what I like about J4X. I can usually tighten things up easier. You can see it didn't make new lows here. It did challenge this low here. But it's not challenging this low here. Let's see what else we got to see. Is there any other lows? No, that's it. Okay. In many ways, this looks like the reverse head and shoulders. It wants to bottom out. That's like what I was saying to Faith. If people are following bottoms and tops and so forth, you got to pay attention to that stuff because, well, everybody else is, so you might as well at least have an idea where the general trend of the market is or where everybody's heads are at, Another sip of my tea. Notice I haven't coughed at all yet today. No coughs. I'm beating up on that flu. The flu bug. All right, there's the silver. And then, let's see what do we got here. Let's take a look at copper. There's the copper. Now, what is the malfunction there? That needs to be fixed. It was in a buy from yesterday. The high and low is all screwed up on this. See that? It was like, I thought it was like, let's see, you know what? I think let's throw a chart up there yesterday. That's what's so nice when I have J4X. I'm able to throw J4X up there to give a second confirmation. Where's it at? Right here, is it? There it is. Here it comes. We're going to throw the chart we sent out last night in copper. Put it up on the screen for you because the high-low is all messed up in it now. There it is right there. Here it comes. Spinny, spinny, spinny. It's getting ready to spit out. I see it spinning. Up, here it comes. It's going to jump on your screen in a few seconds now. There you go. Now you'll be seeing some spinning stuff, and you'll see that chart, and you'll see that the high and low doesn't look anything like what it looked like 2 hours ago. Somehow or another, the data got corrupted. I hate when that does that. Yeah, look at that. That's yesterday. See how deep it was down? The low took out 2 days ago's low, and it, lifted up, and everything was good. It closed in a daily buy. You see all that right there. And then let's minimize that for the moment. And what is that? Is that right there? I guess that's it right there. And let's just close that like so. All right, now let's put this up there. There it is right there. See how the low is all screwed up. It's not there now. They've messed with it somehow. Let's see if we can change the parameter. That'll straighten it out. Sometimes it does that. Okay, right there. Let's see if we can get this to fix it. Maybe it'll do it. Nah, it didn't straighten it out at all. Yeah, see that whole bar is all screwed up right there. All right, well, we'll go fix that. You can see it's down a little bit. A little pressure on it today. Obviously, it didn't take out these lows from yesterday. And from there, it's Friday, so we'll take a look at the platinum. We've been looking at platinum most of the week. I keep on like a dog looking at a bone. I keep on waiting for platinum to do something. And it looks like it's going to be a second week in a sell right there. And maybe next week they'll start to perk it up again and get this thing going. I think it was influenced. We talked about this too. We really thought it was influenced by the silver-gold pairs trade, and that seemed to have a big influence on the metals market. And then it corrected again, and here we are. And it looks like it wants to go back up. And you can see this is like an ascending triangle, even. Let's see, right? Yeah. So like there, I guess you could run the line from there. Matter of fact, there, and there, and then it's a descending triangle. But in this case here, it seems to have stalled out. So between there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it breaks out there and gaps up. That's that 5 right there. This is what W.D. Gann and R.N. Elliott used to talk about, 5s and 7s in triangles. In this case here now, it's 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we may be looking at an ascending triangle that's developing into something, and that's what we keep on expecting this time of the year. And we've been watching this for a long while, thinking that we're going to see metals really perk up in going into October and November. So, and let me just tell you what my logic to that whole thing is I think if we get the election that I expect, then interest rates and so forth are going to start to stall out and top out, basically. Inflation's going to start to drop, and we're going to get things cleaned up. And I think that's the reason why I'm thinking, I know, isn't it the most illogical thing? Inflation will start to go down, so gold will go up. Whereas inflation is up right now, and gold is going down. Well, it's just the way it is anymore. Talk about, faith and the idea of, like, trying to understand price action. Boy, I'll tell you, it's, like, unreal, isn't it? I mean, the fundamentals have been thrown out the door, gone. Fundamentals are upside down. All right. From there, let's jump over to the where we go from there. We go to the energy sector. Let's take a look at crude oil, and I can't see where anybody see where Brent is today. I'd imagine it's in the 93s. Just looking at the price of where West Texas Intermediate is. You see the strength in that. We won't be able to see the natural gas one also, the Spanish company and their natural gas, where it's up around the 24s now. But, you can see here, there's the front month trying to get plus. The back month, this is the February contract right there. It's trying to get into a buy also. Right there, and the weekly is right on the edge. You're only talking about 14 cents of work to go. So we got some real push going on there on the upside there. And then from there we go over to natural gas right there. And there's the December contract making new lows again today. Natural gas is like up like 20 some odd percent in the United States, whereas what's it up like? In Europe, it's up like 600% or something like that. Because of Nord Stream and the Soviet invasion into Ukraine and the whole bit, But in the end result is that natural gas in the States has been back and filling. So, and at the same time, supposedly we're going to supply some natural gas to the rest of the world, which would be really nice. Don't want to see these people freezing at night. All right, from there, what do we got here? Soviet invasion. You like that? I did that on purpose. I did that for you. Because I still call them the Soviets. Janos, you're always cool. You're cool. You're a patriot. I respect patriots. I always respect a patriot. Doesn't matter what country you're from. If you're a patriot for your country and you're following your laws, God bless you. Because I am right there with you. Patriots will stand together in the end. All right. That's pretty much it with the natural gas. And that's the two crude oils, the West Texas Intermediate back month and front month. And I'd imagine more than anything else, these next 18 days is going to be very prevalent. Very, very prevalent. We're going to find out in 19 days if the world is going to finally straighten its act out again and get their head together. I think they're going to. That's the way I see it. All right, traders, we're going to jump out of here. I got to come up with a title on this one. This is, I guess, technical analysis. What was Faith talked about? Liquidity grabs. Talk about. We can do that. This is a technical analysis one today. So, happy trails to you until we meet again on Monday. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend, traders. And we will catch you all on Monday. Monday. So this is Doc saying arrivederci.